going on, guys? Rob Cheek here, aka The Nerdy Athlete, coming at you with my little quick preview of national championship game in 2020 between Clemson and LSU. Battle of the Tigers, SEC versus ACC. The Tiguhz versus the Tigers. You know, good old Ed Orgeron impression. Come on now, the Ed Orgeron. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Come on, go Tigers. That was my little quick impression, but it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. You know, I got some main points here. You got, like I said, LSU's played probably the tougher schedule overall. Well, they definitely have played the tougher schedule overall, but Clemson's probably played the toughest game overall than anybody in the whole country. As far as the Fiesta Bowl matchup between Ohio State, they were great. I still think they're the best defense, including Clemson, in the whole country as far as overall defense. It's a pretty good game. Like I said, I got a couple points here that I'm gonna get through, and then I'm gonna give you my score, and that'll be it. I'm gonna keep it quick and precise today. First one, can Clemson's defensive line put pressure on Joe Burrow? Because if they can't, it's going to be a long night for Clemson. You know, our defense is kind of restructured from last year. All of our defensive linemen got drafted, 3 of the 4 in the first round, and Austin Bryant being the one that was in the 3rd round, and a couple of backups also got drafted or in free agency, so they all left. So we have kind of a whole new slate of defensive linemen here. They're not as big and physical as they were last year, but they're more finesse and speed. They're a little slimmer, but it kind of hurts us in run stopping defense though. Another one, can Travis Etienne get going on the ground? Because we saw last game against Ohio State, he really couldn't get going on the ground. They were just shutting their run down and making us throw the ball, which, I mean, it's tough to say. You got both these two teams, you know, force them to throw, but you force Joe Burrow to throw, which is what I'm assuming Clemson's going to do. They're going to shut the run down, and I'm assuming that LSU's going to do the same with Clemson, shut down Travis Etienne. But it's going to be, he's kind of pick your poison in a way, you know. But so Travis got to get going early. I know he did good out the backfield. He needs to continue that, catching the ball well, and you know, run after catch. And that's what you got to do. If they're shutting the run down, you got to give him the ball. He's too good of a playmaker to just kind of keep him out the game. And will Clemson receivers be able to you know, separate from the DB at LSU? I know DBU is what LSU calls themselves, along with a few other schools like Florida and Texas. But you know, Clemson's known as wide receiver U, and they have been ever since we had Sammy Watkins and Nuke Hopkins and Mike Williams and Artavis Scott and Martavis Bryant. You know, back in 2011 and onwards, we've always been the wide receiver U. And we got a couple more coming in next year, and we had 2 come in last year, Frank Ladson and Joe Ngata out of California. So we got a guy coming from Canada too. So we got guys from all over, and we're really expanding the brand, if you will. So Clemson's looking good for the future, but I know we got Trevor Lawrence 1 more year, but this year I really want to get this win. I really want to get this W. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard-fought win. Whoever wins is gonna really earn it and deserve it. And these are by far, no holds barred, the best 2 teams in the country, and that's not arguable. I know Ohio State, you know, they can argue about that play call and that one penalty, but I mean, more than one play wins or loses a game 9 times out of 10. They still had a chance to go up and win the game, you know, with a few minutes remaining, and they threw a pick. So that's just how it goes. But next one, can LSU's defense keep Clemson at the end zone? You know, LSU's defense all year has been the downside of their team. Everybody, all the talking heads and media have been talking about how bad LSU's defense is, and how they're only winning because of their offense. But I think over the last 4 or 5 games, LSU's defense have come into their own, and they're getting Divinity back and a couple other players that's been injured or banged up on the year. So they're looking to be better than they have all year, and they're coming into fashion at the right time. They're peaking at the right time, I guess you'd say. So it's gonna be a tough game, man. They're not gonna be the same LSU defense that gave up a lot of rush yards to Plumlee at Ole Miss or whatever. So it's gonna come down to the trenches, and it's gonna come down to which defense can make a stop when they need to. And I don't think either team is gonna be able to stop the other offense, but can you slow them down? Can you force a punt here and there? Can you force a field goal here and there? That's going to be big. Field goals, we saw, well, if you get a bunch of field goals in the red zone, it amounts to you losing. That's what happened to Ohio State, man. They could have went up 28-0 on us really fast, but they decided to kick field goals and let Clemson come back and give them the ability to come back and take the lead late in that game. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, another short bowling ball, hardcore running back. He's fast, he's physical, and he's not very tall. He's like 5'8" or 5'7" or 5'9". He's somewhere between 5'7" and 5'9". Anyways, he's shorter than me, and he's a little short guy, but he's freaking bulky, like a little bowling ball coming down, and we got to stop him. They use him in different ways out the backfield as well, so we got to watch him. I know he was banged up in the semifinal. He only had like 8 snaps in the whole game. I think he got the ball maybe once or twice. Mostly he was used for blocking, but we got to keep him at bay and not let him get big rushes on us like J.K. Dobbins did. He gassed us. So can Clyde's Edwards-Helaire get going, or can we slow him down at least, you know, to like 3 yards a carry, 2 yards a carry, something like that, and forcing him to kind of pass the ball, which I think we'll do, which is just crazy to say because you got, you know, the record-breaking Heisman winner over here, Joe Burrow, and we're trying to force him to throw. That doesn't sound like, it sounds like a recipe for disaster, but that's what we got to do. You can't. If we know that they got to throw, it'll give our defense a better shot at slowing down a little bit. Next one, Clemson cannot get down like I said earlier, like they did at Fiesta Bowl. They're down 16-0, and even though, you know, like I said, they can't kick field goals like Ohio State did, but at the same time, Ohio State, they I think this is a whole nother offense, a whole nother animal on offense. LSU's offense is way better. I think Ohio State had the better defense, but as far as offenses go, LSU's offense is way better than Ohio State's. You know, they just have more weapons overall. And Justin Fields, he wasn't even 100%, I don't think, but he was pretty close to it. But he wasn't running like he normally does. And that's the thing. Joe Burrow can scramble. He can move. He's probably better out the pocket than he is in the pocket, and that's crazy to say because he's great inside the pocket as well. It's a lot of respect for this team, man. Both these two teams are just great, and they both earned it. So, and no, this is a funny one. But can Clemson's kicker make a field goal? For the love of God, please do not let this game come down to a field goal, or we will probably lose. I mean, if it's outside of 50 yards, 50+ yards, we're money. We'll make that junk 9 times out of 10. But if it's inside of inside the 40-yard field goal or below, it's like he just gets nervous and he can't. It's like he can kick the bombs, but he can't kick the short field goals, the gimmies, if you will. It's got to be something inside his head. Hopefully he'll get it straightened out. Had a good week or two of practice, and he's getting his confidence back up. Because we really need him. If it comes down to a field goal, we really need him to make some field goals. And I predict him to make 2 or 3 field goals in this game. And the Clemson plays defense between the 20s like they did last game, the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. It's going to be a long night for Clemson's defense, man. They're just going to get toasted. You can't. I know our red zone defense is stellar and it's great, and that's a great thing. But you can't just give up bukus of yards in between the 40s or 20s and let them get in the field goal range. Because field goals are not as good as touchdowns, but if you get about 5 field goals in a row, guaranteed. I mean, what do you? I don't know. It's crazy, but I mean, my prediction on this game, man. Clemson has a lot of heart, a lot of will. They showed that in the Fiesta Bowl. LSU's just got a lot of dominance, and they've dominated everybody they played this year outside of, maybe late in the Alabama game and against Auburn. They won 23-20. But it's gonna take everything Clemson has to pull this out. But I believe we will pull it out. My prediction right here is Clemson's gonna beat LSU in a classic shootout fashion. Whoever has the ball last is gonna win this game. Both defenses are great. They can't compare and can't mount up to the offenses that they're going against. Both offenses are just ridiculous weapons-wise. They have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Ross, Justin Jefferson, Thaddeus Moss, Amari Rogers, and both quarterbacks are great. Etienne and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There's so many ways they could beat you. So I just don't see either team stopping the other team on offense. But they might can slow whoever gets the most stops. And well, obviously that's going to be the case. And special teams is going to come big in this game. We just seen I've been watching NFL playoffs the past couple of days, and special teams in all these games have come up big. Fake punts, punt returns, muffed punts, big kickoff returns. Just flipping field position is going to be key in this game. You got to make the other team drive 90 yards. If they drive 90 yards and beat you, then hey, tip your cap. But you can't give them short field ever. Both these two teams are too dangerous and too elite to give them the short field. But I'm gonna go with this. Clemson's gonna win 48-45. That's my score. It's gonna be a tight shootout. Probably one of the most exciting national championships we had in a while. It's gonna be more like the 2015 Alabama-Clemson game when it was who can score last and which special teams can come up big, and also which defense can slow the other offense down just enough to get a win. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if LSU wins, but people will say that LSU is going to blow it out, or Clemson's going to blow out LSU. They're smoking some crazy crack, man. I don't know, but it's going to be a good game. Mark my words. Everybody knows that. So tune in tomorrow night, Monday night, the 13th of January, 2020, on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and go Tigers, Clemson Tigers. I just bring the trophy back to the real Death Valley. Peace.